Hello everyone and welcome to my Big Bold 2.0 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn manages the panicky Forrester pilot and Taylor gives Lee stunning news. At the Bluff house, Taylor finishes up a work call as Brooke strolls in and surprises her. She inquires, "Thus, you needed to see me?" Taylor says thanks to her for coming. She needs to put any misinformation to rest. "I didn't return to LA to make a play for my ex. She simply needs to be near family." Brooke needs to inquire, "Does this imply that you and I could be companions?" They go over the last endeavor not finding actual success. Brooke needs to attempt once more. Taylor muses, "Perhaps, on the off chance that you can offer your girl some great accommodating guidance." Her main issue with her is the counsel she's giving expectation and what it means for Steffi's loved ones. At Forrester, Edge and Steffi go over business. He tells her she's happy she's allowing expect the future another opportunity, however he needs to ensure she's not going delicate on him. Steffi thinks her mother's tranquil viewpoint is coming off on her. Edge grins. It's coming off on him as well. Steffi knows he's missed her mother. Edge says life isn't the equivalent when she's nowhere to be found. According to Steffi, precisely. Our family's not something similar, nor are you. They talk about Taylor's affinity for moving around. Steffi maintains that Edge should persuade her to get established. At Finn's office, he invites Deuce the Forrester pilot into this office. They make casual chit-chat about Steffi and her identification. The person realizes that Finn has his lab results and believes the specialist should give it to him straight. "Am I all right?" Finn moves summoned and Deuce lets him know he'll hang out until he gets back. April the lab tech comes in with a record of results. Deuce needs to see them. "Give it to me straight. I can take it." He noticed he's not the calmest man on the planet and requests that she put this old pilot out of his wretchedness. April wonders that pilots should have nerves of steel. Deuce says that is just in the air. He happens about cholesterol and Frankfurter sauce. April can't show him the outcomes. Deuce is persuaded it's terrible information. As Finn returns, Deuce asks them not to allow his ex to turn off the machines. Lee comes in and Deuce realizes there are two Dr. Finnegans. At the Bluff house, Brooke tells Taylor she comprehends how she feels. She shares it and regards it. They're both defensive guardians. She's informed expectation various times how she had an outlook on what she did. Brooke was clear she was off the mark. Taylor expresses off the mark makes it sound less destructive than it was. Trust went on to Steffi's better half. Brooke accepts that wasn't exactly her aim. Taylor needs to trust that. Trust has numerous great characteristics. They need harmony and think they all need to meet up. For that to occur, trust can't continue onward after Steffi's husband. Brooke has told her that and concedes she ought to have taken her own recommendation ages ago. They concur their slip-ups shouldn't go to the future, however it as of now has. Taylor urges Brooke to continue to direct expectation. She's been somewhat lost and mistaken for some time now. Her advantage in Finn is very nearly a fixation. Brooke would call it a smash. Taylor tells her she can't simply hide this where no one will think to look. "You truly do understand that, right, Brooke?" In Finn's office, April surrenders one document of lab results to Lee, who has been hanging tight for them. April then gives Finn his document. Deuce says he's been going crazy. Finn peruses his document and Deuce panics, "Give it to me." Finn says his outcomes are magnificent, even his cholesterol. Deuce embraces him and heads off to eat some cheesecake. At Forrester, Steffi lets Edge know the amount she admires her mother. The family needs her, I really want her. Edge inquires as to whether she's informed her that. Steffi has, however, won't ever request that she make an expert penance. I need her here. On the off chance that you could simply help me, Father. She requests that he persuade her to remain in LA. Edge grins. At the Bluff house, Taylor tells Brooke she needs to invest more effort to break through to trust. Brooke fights that she has. Taylor says she needs to let her plainly know that she should regard Steffi and Finn's marriage. She contemplates whether it's compensation for Steffi taking steps to pull the line. Brooke says it's not, yet Taylor needs to prevent Steffi from going on this power trip. Taylor calls attention to that she allowed expectation for the future another opportunity. They concur they need exactly the same thing, for their youngsters to be content. Brooke will ensure trust doesn't depend on her instinct to Finn. Taylor grins, then, at that point, they can chip away at being companions. Brooke would not like anything more. In Finn's office, he and Lee giggle that Deuce is truly a person. He makes sense of how insane it is that individuals can make dread from nothing. A decent update: most feelings of trepidation in their lives are independent. Lee dreams, except if there's actual instinct included. Like when you realized something was off with Steffi despite the fact that you didn't have substantial confirmation. Lee gets a text that Taylor needs to see her and heads out. I'm certain nothing remains to be stressed over. Steffi requirements to stress over, spoiler, not trust. At the Bluff house, Taylor and Brooke need harmony between their little girls. Taylor says the more established she gets, the more she understands that leaving the world a superior place is significant. I'm happy we're working on continuing on from the past. Life is short. Excessively short. We shouldn't clutch old feelings of disdain. For the good of everybody. Also, our own. At Forrester, Steffi lets Edge know how sacrificial her mom is. It's the reason they esteem her to such an extent. All that is happening with her in trust, she gets it. Perhaps she can carry harmony to the families. I genuinely want to believe that she remains here. I truly do. Since I would rather not let her go. They embrace. At the Bluff house, Taylor expresses gratitude toward Lee for coming. Taylor says the children are fine. This isn't about them. Lee was shocked she connected and inquires, is everything all right? Taylor needed to converse with her. One specialist to another. She says she went to see a specialist in Europe, and I have cardiovascular breakdown. I'm biting the dust. Steffi's dubious disclosure: Taylor powers Lee's commitment, the striking and the delightful, B&B, spoilers for Monday, September 23rd, uncover that Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, will proceed with her conversation with Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, who was presumably stunned over her cardiovascular breakdown admission. Taylor conceded she's perishing, so she'll offer updates on everything the specialist in Europe said to her. Lee might think about how Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, responded to the news, yet Taylor will demand she hasn't told her. Since Taylor would rather not trouble her family with this information yet, she'll compel Lee to guarantee she'll safeguard her security both as a clinical expert and as a companion. Lee might guarantee Taylor that her mystery is protected, yet she'll think Steffi and Edge Forrester, Torsten K., would need to be aware of Taylor's conclusion. That goes for Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson, in Paris, as well. By and by, Taylor might fight that her family has been under sufficient pressure for what it's worth. Now that Steffi's enclosure show is finished, Taylor could contend that she simply believes that everything should be quiet for some time. Obviously, Taylor is meeting with Lee at the Precipice house, so there's a decent opportunity Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, will return home and hinder them eventually. B&B fans can anticipate that Steffi should become dubious of Taylor inside the following episode or two, so she might stroll in on her mother's conversation with Lee and ask what's up. It'll be an incredible cliffhanger for Monday's episode in the event that Steffi appears and asks why Lee is there rather than at work. It could leave Steffi stressed that something's off base and lead to Taylor coming up with a sham rationalization for Lee's visit. In any case, Taylor not set in stone to lose Steffi. It appears Taylor maintains that things should be typical as far as might be feasible, so she'll rely on Lee to keep her lips zipped. Our B&B forecasts highlight Edge sorting out reality before any other person, so remain tuned to perceive how he'll figure out Taylor's stunner. The intense and the wonderful spoilers say Taylor and Edge will develop nearer as the storyline moves along, so don't miss the thing that's coming down the road for these exes.